Happy Tuesday! My name is Alan.
And my name's Nick.
And welcome into the dungeon.
Buggins,
Yes, old man.
I have a mysterious new trial for you.
Really?
Oh,
I'm always up for them.
quite an exciting one.
Tell me.
It is the trial of acceptance.
Acceptance, you say?
Oh, yes.
Oh, what does this trial entail?
It entails...
As you're saying that, you see Ariella or Dobbing hold Wilbur's or Egbert's, this is a mess, hand and guide him away, seemingly showing him some night owl or something. Night has started to fall by now.
It entails a trial of the heart.
Oh, the heart, you say? Well,
And of the mind.
of the mind. Seems intriguing. I'm sure I can complete this one. Tell me more. Did you overcome this trial yourself?
That I did. It's by no means an easy feat, though.
Really?
Come, let's take a walk. Walking is good for the mind.
Indeed.
I started walking slowly away from the fire, beckoning Boggins to follow me.
He follows you with a spring on his step. Lead the way, old man. I look forward to your trial.
Well, Buggins, this trial is by no means an easy feat.
Well, I'm prepared for anything.
That's good to know, for this trial is an ancient, sacred ritual. Yes, it's passed down by ancient, lost warriors of old.
Interesting.
It's a mystical trial, and those who pass it are said to find true peace and wisdom. As I was saying earlier, this is a trial that I have overcome. And you see, my grandson and I are rather fond of the wilderness, and I feel that this challenge is a call issued to you by the wilderness itself, calling you to prove yourself worthy of moving forward.
Nature, you say?
Yes,
Calling me out, the indomitable Sir Boggins.
indeed. I think the wilderness has seen your prowess. And is calling you.
Very well. Let her call.
For you have shown that you are indomitable, that you are an apex hunter,
Indeed.
that you are a chef. Apologies, I can't quite remember the name of that trial. The Bountiful Feast, was it?
Yes, well, I didn't do the cooking. I did the eating. Haha, yes.
And now it's calling you to pass the challenge of acceptance.
Well, show me the way, old man.
Let's keep walking. Over there, those boulders that you and Egbert.
Egbert, yes.
Yes. The boulders that you and Egbert split into. And then Wilderness is asking you to carry one of those rocks to show your strength.
It will be my pleasure.
As I'm saying this, I want to look around to see if there's like a difficult path to walk, like if there's up a hill or through some like overgrowth. Something that wouldn't necessarily be easy to walk through.
From where you are, you've moved away from the campfire. It's pretty dark as it is, because it's already night, and you're at the edge of the forest. So, although it's a clearing here, if you go a bit further into the forest, you could imagine that it's harder to traverse.
Okay. I start heading in that direction.
This way, Boggins. Bring the rock with you.
It's pitch black, old man. Is this part of the trial?
It surely is.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna roll a strength check for Sir Boggins to see if he can pick part of the boulder up. Yes, without a problem. He expertly squats, grabs a boulder with both hands. Leading with his legs, he stands up, as you should, to not break your back, and walks into the forest behind you.
You see, Boggins? This heavy stone represents a moment of pain or regret. Follow me through the woods.
He says nothing, but continues following you.
You see, throughout our lives. And when you have lived to be as old as I am, or as old as you as a human, we carry heavy weights with us. Heavy moments of pain or regret. For me, it was the loss of my sister at a young age. Over 100 years ago now. I saw her drown before my very eyes. And to this day, I still can't get myself up on the boat. The pain is too much. Took a long time to get over the pain. In some ways it has never really left. That was the weight that I carried. For many a year, as I, much like you, traveled the wilderness.
Why are you telling me this, old man? Where's the trial?
This is the trial. The wilderness
Carrying the rock.
is speaking through me. Yes, the rock represents a weight that we carry. Tell me, do you carry any grief or regret?
Have you been speaking to Ariella? I mean, have you been speaking to Dobbing?
Yes, we had a little word at the campfire, but this has nothing to do with this. This is the wilderness calling us to undertake this challenge. But it sounds to me like, old man to old man. Like you do carry a difficult weight with you.
Well, this boulder is rather heavy. Indeed, 'tis a burden.
But in your soul, or in your heart, do you carry a heavy weight? The wilderness seeks answers. In order to pass the challenge, you must answer their call.
Deep down I do, old man. I carry a heavy weight. Heavier than 50 of these boulders.
Pray tell me, what is it you carry within your heart?
Anguish. Regret. Blame. Anger. And sorrow. Deeper and darker than these woods we traverse.
Look, the woods respond to you.
And I make a gesture as if I've seen like the branches swaying in the wind or any sort of thing that I think I could use to settle the charade a bit.
It's very hard to tell what he's looking at or if he can even see you gesture. It's that dark inside the denser parts of these woods.
This anguish, this guilt, sorrow, anger that you carry. Did you by chance lose somebody dear to you?
Damn you, Ariella. I lost myself. On that day I lost myself. I lost my son. I lost my life. I lost everything. Well, I have Ariella.
I want to keep an eye out to see if there's a clearing or distinguishable tree or rock. Something that I could sort of sell as the end of this part of the trial.
Again, it's really dark in this area you've entered. These woods themselves aren't that thick, but this particular part is quite overgrown with trees, and it is the middle of the night, so it's hard to see beyond where you are currently walking. You could turn around, or at least try and guess where you came in from, and turn around and exit to the clearing you were before. Or try to carry on walking and eventually you'll reach another clearing. Because they are sparse woods.
Alright, I want to carry on to the next clearing.
Okay.
That is good, Boggins. The wilderness acknowledges the bravery that lies within you to speak of this.
You sense he's still behind you, but he doesn't reply. After a while walking, you can see the reflection of the half moon cast on the grass in the meadow on a clearing beyond you, and some glistening of some of the rocks.
Oh, here we are, Boggins. The boulder, we must set down here.
He follows you into the clearing. Here, old man.
Here.
Very well. And he sets the boulder down.
You see, this part of the trial is about acknowledging the weight that we carry. The trial asks you, would your son want you to carry this weight forever? In order to be able to accept, we must let go. Just like I did with my dear sister, Tammy.
It was not your fault, old man. But it was mine. And my son didn't even want to go to that damned location. It was all me, always pushing, always persistent. He never wanted to adventure. He was living his life through me, doing what I wanted. He told me it was madness to enter the damned troll claws. I didn't listen, always looking for the next treasure. And he died because of me. I carry this weight because it's the only way. It's the only way for me to repent. I was supposed to protect him, not lead him to his untimely death.
Then let me share my tale. For there was a time that I blamed myself every day. You've been so kind to share Ariella's real name. I must confess that she did share her name and yours, Sir Galvanos.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Despise it.
Well, as you have been so honest with me, I shall repay the favor. My name is not Yanros. My name is Arfharim, half-elven. You see?
Arfharim sort of recapacitates there. He was about to break into his usual dad joke on the half-elven, but he feels that perhaps this somber moment is not the most fitting time.
You see, my sister died upon a ship. We went down in a storm, but as I struggled beneath the waters and saw her breathe her last breath, this strange power raged within me. You see, Sir Galvanos, I am a sorcerer, and wild magic rages within me. I still question, to an extent, whether perhaps it was the wild magic within me that brought down the ship on that fateful day. I've had various mishaps, particularly since that day. The dwarven lady that took my sister and I in when we were orphans once started to fly before my eyes after a burst of magical energy erupted from my fingertips. But much like you have to ask whether your son, Theodoric, wishes for you to carry this weight forever, I had to ask whether Tammy wanted me to carry the weight of her death forever.
And you concluded that she didn't, I gather.
She would have wanted me to continue to live some sort of a life beyond one of sorrow. And your son would want you to live your life and live a good life for you and Ariella. We must ask ourselves, Sir Galvanos, should we still chase ghosts? For if we do not accept, then it is not they who are lost, but ourselves. You are lost right now, Sir Galvanos, just like I was. And it wasn't until a kind soul by the name of Oben helped me that I was able to reflect. And through this trial of the wilderness beckons of you, I'm trying to repay the favor forward.
Damn it. I failed my son Theodoric. And I failed Ariella. Damn it! I've been gallivanting these woods for the past 20 years.
20 years?
Yes, 20 years. Playing the stupid hero. Pretending to beat trials. Nonsense. My life was already wasted. But I could have saved Ariella's. That sweet child has accompanied me all the way. Never blamed me. Never complained. And this is how I repay her. I'm a fool, damn it!
Oh, you're no fool. I can tell that you have a heart of gold.
I wish I could see him one last time. I wish I could put things right.
Perhaps you could. I do not mean to impose, but I myself am on a long journey towards Baldur's Gate. That will take me near the Troll's Claws.
I don't want to see that place as long as I live.
You wish to take revenge? Perhaps my grandson Wilbur, was I now lovingly call him given your little encounter earlier today. Wilbur. Sorry, that's not the moment. Perhaps we could help you avenge his death. If not, and you wish to take a break from the wilds, I have connections within Waterdeep. I could direct you to somebody that could help get you back on your feet.
Don't worry, old man. I've got a place to go. I cannot go to the Troll Claws. Not right now. There's a lot of thinking I need to do. And Ariella, I couldn't take her there again. I can't lose another child. I'm thankful for your offer. Perhaps one I will take in future. But as I say, right now, I need to think. Thank you for making me open my damned eyes. And if you don't mind me saying, the way you've given me advice, I'd like you to extend some to you. Your grandson, Wilbur. You should put more trust in him. He's a fine warrior.
He certainly has the strength and the skill, but I feel he needs to work a little more on his mind too. I'm sure you know, as a great warrior yourself, it's not all just about brute strength.
Yes, we all have imperfections, but it's learning how to work around them that counts. Anyway, if you will excuse me, I need to go and speak to my daughter.
Let's walk back together, Sir Galvanos.
If you don't mind, go on without me. I'll take a moment.
I'll wait at the edge of the clearing, but please, I beg you, do not do anything foolish. Remember the weight you are carrying. or were carrying, I hope now, was something that wasn't there. You still have something that matters. Your beautiful daughter, Ariella. I'll wait at the edge of the clearing.
You see him nod, although he's not looking at you. And as you head off into the clearing, you hear him break down and start to scream and cry and pummel the boulder that he was carrying. After a while, he recomposes himself, gets up and makes her way to the edge of the woods again, to where you are. Let's go, old man.
I'll have you know, for a half-elf, I am as old as you are. Old man.
Yes, the years don't stop for anyone.
That they don't. All the more reason to enjoy what years we have left with those that we have that still love us. For me, I lost my sister. My master, Oben, has disappeared. The most worrying of circumstances. The only person I have right now is Wilbur. And I hope, Glagafer. She effectively raised my sister and I, but I have news that perhaps all is not well at Baldur's Gate. That has me fearing for her.
You say this as you're starting to walk through the dark woods again slowly, and you have no way of checking on her. You are a sorcerer, right?
That I am, but one that has been repressing his powers for 100 years. I have some magic, but nothing that powerful. My friends in Waterdeep provided with me the scroll to send a message, but I'm still debating whether to send a message to Glagatha, or whether to use it to try and contact my master, in the hope that he is still alive.
Tough decision.
That it is. As alas, I can only send one message, one sole use. Pray tell me, where will you head from here?
I have a farmstead, not far from here. Something I bought with the money of my old adventures.
And after 20 years you think it will be safe, and not have been taken over by bandits or outlaws?
Perhaps it has, but if they've been living rent-free, well, the landlord is about to come home, and they'll be paying it in arrears.
How far from here?
Not too far, but don't worry, you've done enough. We can carry ourselves, Ariel and I. We'll be fine. I don't fear the physical pain, it's more the mental one, and I have a lot of thinking to do, old man, thanks to you. And a lot of accepting, and a lot of letting go.
Well, I think I can say that you have passed this trial.
My last trial, I'd say, and I'm glad it was. The most important trial in these last 20 years.
I'll tell you what, my road ahead is filled with many dangers. If I happen to come across any trolls, Wilbur and I will see them to the next life. For you and Ariella.
And for Theodric.
And for Theodric as well.
Thank you, friend.
If my journeys take me, by some ill fate, to the troll claws, I'll raise hell there for you. And I will write to you at your farmstead to let you know that I have passed that trial.
I hope you have a safe journey, and perhaps, if fate will have it, we'll see each other again. Someday.
I would very much like that. My first day on the road. We've already made a new friend. I'm honored to call Sir Galvanos my friend.
As it is mine to call Arfharim my friend. And Wilbur.
Wilbur?
It did look like a pig.
Should see him eat.
I can imagine. Although I don't know how he's that big, just eating just tack and cheese.
Well, he eats enough cheese to fill a pig.
As you're finishing your conversation, eventually you see the campfire past the last trees in this wooded area, and you exit to the clearing where you are camped. Sir Galvanos steps in front of you and quickly makes his way to Ariella. Ariella! She looks back in shock. Father, you haven't called me by my name in 20 years. What's gotten into you?
Wilbur?
Yes, Grumpy.
Sir Galvanos and I were talking.
Sir Galvanos? Who's Sir Galvanos?
Boggins.
Oh.
He will take first watch with his daughter.
And I sort of beckon to the tents like we should give them some privacy.
But we were watching night owls.
Well, I'll show you some tricks. I can make some owl shapes with my hands on with the silhouettes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Good night.
I turn to Sir Galvanos and I nod, sort of saying, get me when it's our turn to take watch. And we enter the tent.
Before you get in, he says, Arfharim, thank you again so much for everything. You too, Wilbur. It's been a pleasure meeting you both. I wish you all the best in your travels. Good night.
Good night.
And he grabs Ariella by the hand. You can see with the light of the fire that she's teared up.
As I'm making my way into the tent, I take one last glance towards them and try and make eye contact with Ariella.
She's looking at you.
I give her a little wink, and I break a smile, and sort of put my hands together almost as in prayer, and nod towards her.
She breaks into tears, visibly now, starts sobbing. She nods at you with a hand on her heart, seemingly knowing what you have done here.
Come now, Wilbur. I'll show you how to make a night owl out of a silhouette.
Ooh. So you and Wilbur head off into the tent. Ariella and Sir Galvanos step away from the campfire as they seem to walk off into the dark, probably to have a more private conversation. You're going to sleep?
I try and encourage Wilbur to sleep. I have much thinking to do myself.
Okay, Wilbur rummages through his backpack and takes out a little plushie. It's the shape of a duck. And a little kind of blankie. It's not, a blankie. He doesn't suck his thumb or anything like that. At least as far as you know. But it's a little blankie that he uses to cover himself. His special favorite blankie. He turns around, farts a few times, so it might be a bit rancid in the tent tonight. Smells of cheese. And before you know it, he's fast asleep.
I want to try and keep an ear out, see if I hear any of the conversation. Not that I'm trying to eavesdrop, but just make sure that they're safe and that there's no danger around.
You don't hear anything. You get the impression that they've moved away from the camp quite a bit, and perhaps had a little wander. You know they're used to. They've been 20 years apparently living like this. So
And just round the corner from their home.
yeah, pretty much. And you can imagine that they'll be safe enough. Are you staying up until they return, or are you happy to call it a night?
As time starts to pass, I start to drift off.
Alright, so you drift off, you fall asleep, and as you wake up, you have the faint memory of a dream. It wasn't a vivid one, it wasn't a lived one per se, but you have it at the back of your mind. You were a baby chick.
Baby chick?
Yeah, like a chick of a bird. And there was this mother bird feeding you. Just a curious dream you seem to have had that lingers. And as you wake up, you see Wilbur, still asleep, with his thumb in his mouth, holding tightly to his ducky. Now what are you doing?
Sir Galvanos didn't wake me for the next watch.
I burst out of the tent.
So you get up, you burst out, and you see the campfire has dwindled, and there's no one there. But in front of the tent, there's the other half of the boulder that he carried into the clearing yesterday, with a little spoon on it. If you remember, it's one of the trinkets he had on him. He had a feather, a small spoon, and other trinkets adorning his armor. So that spoon that you remember is one of his worn trinkets. It's there on the rock, and a little note.
Okay, I pick up the spoon. I'm going to say I attach it to my chain, hang the spoon from it,
Nice.
and I sit on the boulder and open the note.
It reads, Dear Arfharim, I am sorry to leave in such a rush. I will be forever grateful for your kindness and for at last opening my eyes after 20 long years. There is a lot we had to do and a lot we had to say to each other, Ariella and I. We stood on watch for what was supposed to be your part of it. It's the least we could do. You have a long journey ahead, friend, and you need to be well rested. I leave you with one of my mementos of my mighty trials, my little silver spoon. Take care of it, and we'll see each other again. Forever in your debt, Sir Galvanos. And it ends there.
I well up a bit and tuck the note inside my tunic pocket. I then walk into the tent.
Wilbur, rise and shine.
Ooh, is it our watch already? It's too bright.
It's the morning.
Ooh, we overslept, Arfahrim.
No. Our friends took our watch too.
Really? That's nice.
They've left now.
Oh, didn't have a chance to say goodbye.
I have a feeling that our paths will cross again one day.
As he gets up, a little note falls out of where he was holding the duck.
What's this? Let me see. Daya.
Here, Wilbur.
Oh?
Let me read it to you.
Oh, okay.
So I read out the notes to Wilbur.
Dear Wilbur, this is Sir Galvanos. Take care of your grandfather for me. He's a fine man, and you a fine warrior. Make sure you practice with your sword daily, and listen to your grandfather's advice, for he is wise. If you keep at it, soon you will be a great hero yourself. Take care, and see you soon.
Oh, that's nice. He said I'd be a great warrior. No one said I'd be a great warrior. You think he's right?
I saw you bring down a mighty knight with your bare hands, Wilbur.
Yes.
I think he sees in you what the City Watch has failed so far.
I like him. He's a good man.
I'll tell you what, Wilbur. Our travel to Baldur's Gate will be almost 4-10 day, if not more.
Well, we better get going then.
Yes. But perhaps we can make use of the evenings. I can teach you to read.
Oh, really? I'll try. It'd be nice to read a little book. Maybe the one Timmy gave us.
Oh, no. That book is forbidden, Wilbur.
Oh.
It's dangerous. But we will find books for you to read. Your first trial is to read that letter yourself.
Okay.
And he folds it up and puts it in his pocket.
Tonight, we will make time, and we shall read through it together.
Very well.
Come now, let's pack up our tent, get our bearings, and head on the road to Baldur's Gate.
And that is where we're gonna end today's episode. That's just day 1 of the road to Baldur's Gate.
Just 39 plus to go.
So that's around 6 episodes. If you multiply that by 39, that's,
wow.
that's how long the campaign is gonna be. Now, I imagine there'll be times where we skip a few days, and, certain inconsequential parts of the journey will be omitted to keep the game moving. Or else this is gonna last 2 years.
Sounds a little familiar.
For those of you who don't know, listen to season 1. We thought it was going to be 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It ended up being 80-something.
It definitely wasn't 10 episodes at the end.
But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this last episode. A bit of character development and roleplay there. And if you want to listen to the second day of Arfharim's and Wilbur's journey, then tune in next week.
If you can't wait a whole week for your Into the Dungeon fix, well, you have 3 seasons of adventure to whet your appetite with. And where can you find those other than the same place you're probably listening to this right now? Well, I hear you ask. It is the website, www.i2td.com. It's got all the links there to the different places you can find the podcast, including actually listening to it on the website itself. We've also got links there to our social media feeds, our Discord server, and of course, that beautiful little cup of Morning Joe, that coffee cup, which will take you to our Buy Me a Coffee page. Whilst you're over there, make sure you subscribe to our tier to make a regular donation to the podcast, if that is your choosing. It not only helps us in real life, but it's also a fun way for you to be a part of the stories we tell and shape the adventures we play, as your potion will appear in-game, with a snazzy little shout-out to boot.
We said that Nick will need potions in this campaign, but so far he hasn't needed one. We're 6 episodes in, so he's doing pretty well for himself.
Been skillfully avoiding those encounters.
Yes. Let's see for how long, though. But anyway, if you cannot donate or wish not to, do not worry. You can always help us out by spreading the word of I2TD. Let your friends and family know. Perhaps also leave some likes and comments on your podcast player of choice, maybe on YouTube, wherever you find us. Let us know you're listening and what you like about the episodes. It's a lot of hard work going into these episodes, and we appreciate to hear what you think of them, be it good or bad. Constructive criticism is always good. Anyway, that leads us to the end of the episode club.
The last one standing.
The true end of the episode, where we give you a password and you use said password in a comment anywhere you can find us, and it's a way for us to know who reached the very, very end. The true warriors.
Te quiero, mas fradas.
That's right. So, do you have a password for us today, Nick?
Today's password is acceptance.
Ooh. Self-explanatory there.
That it is, after all, Sir Galvanos successfully undertook his trial of acceptance, and Arfharim and Wilbur have accepted that their fates now lead them towards Baldur's Gate.
Brilliant. So that's it. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to catch you next time as we delve
Into the dungeon.